You know that cold sweat when you open your banking app? That tiny knot in your stomach before the balance loads? What if I told you there is an exact dollar amount that cures that feeling permanently? And no, it's not $1 million, it's not even 100 grand. Most financial gurus scream that you need a massive six-figure portfolio to finally breathe easy. They are dead wrong. There is a much smaller, hidden milestone that completely rewires your brain and flips the rules of money in your favor. That number is exactly $20,000. Everything before this number is a grind. You are pushing a boulder uphill. But the second you cross that $20,000 threshold, gravity shifts. You stop working for your money, and your money starts working for you. Today, we are breaking down the math, the psychology, and the unfair advantage of your first 20K. Let's look at the actual math of wealth accumulation. Getting from zero to your first $20,000 is brutal. Let's say you manage to aggressively save and invest $1,000 every single month, getting an average 8% return in the market. To hit $20,000, it's going to take you roughly 19 months. That is a year and a half of pure discipline, skipping the expensive dinners, saying no to the weekend trips. It's a grind. But here's where the math gets intoxicating. Your second $20,000, going from 20K to 40K, doesn't take another 19 months. It takes 17 months. You did the exact same amount of work, but you shaved 2 full months off your timeline. Why? Because your first $20,000 brought its own hard hat and went to work alongside you. By the time you are aiming for your next milestones, the timeline collapses. Fast forward to when you have $400,000 invested. Generating your next $20,000 takes just 5 months. The same amount of money that originally cost you nearly 2 years of blood, sweat, and tears now happens on autopilot while you sleep. That is the violent, beautiful power of compound interest at scale. But I want to hear from you. What is the hardest part about saving that initial chunk of cash? Is it rent, car payments, or just the cost of living right now? Drop a comment below right now and let me know. But the math is only half the story. The real cheat code unlocks in your brain. When your bank account is near zero, your brain is locked in what psychologists call survival mode. You literally cannot process long-term growth because all your mental RAM is being used to figure out how to survive until next Friday. You take terrible job offers because you can't wait a month for a better one. You stay in toxic situations because leaving feels like financial suicide. Every unexpected bill, a flat tire, a medical copay, a broken phone, feels like an absolute catastrophe. When you cross that $20,000 line, representing roughly 3 to 6 months of living expenses, survival mode shuts off. A flat tire is no longer a financial crisis. It's just a Tuesday annoyance. This creates mental breathing room. Instead of asking, how do I survive this week? You start asking, how do I multiply this capital? You start seeing investments, business opportunities, and career moves that were literally invisible to you when you were stressed. If this mindset shift is making sense to you, do me a quick favor and smash that like button. It tells the algorithm to show this video to more people who need to break out of survival mode. Now, understanding the power of your first 20K is great, but how do you actually get there if you're starting from zero? You can't just budget your way to wealth by skipping your morning coffee. That's a loser's game. It takes 1,000 skipped coffees to even make a dent. To hit this milestone aggressively, you have to attack it violently from 2 sides, the ruthless cut and the income multiplier. Let's talk about the ruthless cut first. Look at the 2 line items bleeding you dry, housing and transportation. If you're spending 40% of your income on a luxury apartment just to impress people you don't even like, you are willingly volunteering for financial slavery. Break the lease, get a roommate, or move 10 minutes further from downtown. If you can slash your rent by $600 a month, that's over $7,000 a year injected straight into your wealth foundation. Next, look in your driveway. If you have a $500 monthly car payment plus full coverage insurance, you are actively destroying your ability to build wealth. Sell the car. Buy a $5,000 reliable beater in cash. It isn't sexy, but you know what is sexy? having $20,000 liquid and not caring if you lose your job tomorrow. Once you make the ruthless cut, you apply the income multiplier. You can only cut your expenses to zero, but your income potential is infinite. You need to expand your cash flow. If you're working a standard 9 to 5, your evenings and weekends are your actual moneymakers. Whether it's freelance copywriting, editing videos, virtual consulting, or flipping furniture on the weekends, you need a secondary income stream that is 100% dedicated to funding that $20,000 milestone. Do not use your side hustle money to upgrade your lifestyle. Every single dollar from your second stream goes straight into your investment account. Finally, you lock it all together with the automation engine. Human willpower is a finite resource. If you wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over, I guarantee you will have zero left over. The money will magically disappear into dinners out, subscription boxes, and impulse buys. You have to set up your accounts so that the very second your paycheck hits, 20% of it is immediately and automatically ripped out of your checking account and sent to a separate, hard-to-access investment account. You pay yourself first, and you force yourself to live on the remainder. You automate the discipline, so you don't have to rely on willpower. When you combine the ruthless cut with an extra income stream and total automation, that 19-month timeline to hit $20,000 shrinks to 12 months, maybe even 9 months. Now let's talk about the biggest, most unfair advantage of all: leverage. When you have $20,000 sitting liquid and invested, it changes your posture. It changes how you speak. It changes how you negotiate. I call this walking away power. If you're living paycheck to paycheck, your employer owns you. You can't aggressively negotiate your salary because you're terrified they might fire you. You need them more than they need you. But with $20,000 in the bank, you could quit tomorrow and survive for half a year while finding a better gig. You negotiate from a position of absolute strength. You start demanding the raise you deserve. You push back on toxic management. You take risks. And ironically, because you carry yourself with the quiet confidence of someone who doesn't need the job, you actually command more respect and usually get the promotion anyway. Money goes to people who have options. But here's the tragedy. I see people hit this $20,000 milestone, feel that surge of confidence, and then completely self-destruct. They say, "I've been so disciplined, I deserve a reward," and they go put a down payment on a $40,000 car. Do not do this. That $20,000 is not a reward for good behavior. It is the foundation of your entire financial empire. The moment you drive that new car off the lot, it loses 20% of its value. You're trading your financial freedom, your walking away power, and your peace of mind for heated seats. When you filter every major purchase through the lens of opportunity cost, a $30,000 car isn't just $30,000. It's $30,000 that could have compounded into $250,000 over the next 2 decades. Suddenly, driving a reliable, slightly older car doesn't feel like a sacrifice at all. It feels like a strategic, aggressive move to buy back your own life. Your first $20,000 won't buy you a private jet, but it buys you something infinitely more valuable: control. Control over your time, your career, and your stress levels. It's the difference between reacting to life and designing it. Welcome to DoughLogic. If you're tired of the traditional slow-lane financial advice and want to aggressively build your wealth, you're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.